Let's do a quick review. When you are adding or subtracting fractions, you need to have the common denominator, meaning the denominators have to be the same. And if one denominator is multiple of the other one, that denominator can be the common denominator. So in this case, 15 is the common denominator. And in order to have 15 for this fraction, you need to multiply 3 by the bottom and the top as well. So 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7 over 15. Another case is one denominator is not multiple of the other one. 7 is not a multiple of 6, 6 is not a multiple of 7. So in that case, you will use each other's denominator to multiply. So you multiply 7 here and multiply 6 here. So the denominator is 42 and 5 times 7 is 35 minus 2 times 6 is 12 equals 23 over 42. 12 is not a multiple of 8, but there are common factors of 8 and 12 other than 1. 2 and 4 are common factors of 8 and 12. And why is that important? If there are common factors other than 1, that means we can find a smaller common denominator than multiplying 8 and 12. If you multiply 8 by 12, you are going to have 96 for the common denominator. And that is a big number. You want to keep the fraction as small as possible so it's easier to handle. Let's find the common multiples of 8 and 12, see if we can find a smaller common denominator. 8 times 1 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 8 times 3, 24, 8 times 4, 32, 8 times 5 is 40, 8 times 6 is 48, and so forth. Now, multiples of 12. 12 times 1 is 12, 12 times 2 is 24, 12 times 3 is 36, 12 times 4 is 48, and so on. Now, did you find the common numbers here? 24 and 48 are common numbers in the list. Are they going to be 96 somewhere down here? Yes. As a matter of fact, there are infinite common multiples. We call them common multiples of 8 and 12. Among the infinite number of common multiples of 8 and 12, the smallest common multiple, we call it the least common multiple, LCM in short. So is there an easier way to find the least common multiple? Yes. Remember the upside down division form in the greatest common factor video? If you don't remember that, go back to the video about greatest common factor and you can review it there. So let's do that. 8 and 12. Do the upside down division. The common factor of 8 and 12 is 4. Of course, you can start with 2. It'll just take one more step. I'll just use 4 here. So 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. Now, for the greatest common factor, you multiply these front numbers. I only have 4 here, but if you started with 2, you will have 2 and 2. Multiply those numbers. That will give you the greatest common factor. For the least common multiple, you are going to multiply all these 3 numbers in L shape here. So this is going to be 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 3 is 24, and this is going to be your least common multiple of 8 and 12. Now, you got a much smaller number than 96, which is 24 for the common denominator. And you are going to use the equivalent fractions here by multiplying 3, top and the bottom, and multiply 2, top and the bottom. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 5 times 2 is 10, equals 19 over 24. Let's practice some more. Let's try upside down division. What can divide 15 and 12? 3. 3 times 5 is 15, and 3 times 4 is 12. Multiply all these numbers in L shape right here. And that is 5 times 4 is 20. 20 times 3 is 60. So the common denominator is going to be 60. In order to have 60 here, you multiply 4 and 4 here too. And for 12, you multiply 5 and 5 here as well. It's like you are multiplying crossway like this. For 12, you multiply 5 to have 60. For 15, you multiply 4 to have 60. And 2 times 4 is 8, plus 5 times 5 is 25. So this is 33 over 60. Are we done? No, because this is not the simplest form. When you have a fraction for your answer, always make sure this fraction is the simplest form. What is the common factor of 33 and 60? What can divide 33 and 60? 3. So if you divide both top and bottom by 3, this becomes 11 and 20 down here. If you want to use that upside down division like this, you can also do that. 33 and 60. Divide that by 3, you get 11 and 20, and these numbers are going to be the fraction. Again, find the least common multiple of 16 and 24. 4 can be the common factor. 4 and 6, and there are more. 2 is also a common factor. So 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6. Now, you multiply everybody here. 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. So 8 times 6 is 48. So the common denominator of these fractions is 48. In order to have 48, you need to multiply 3 here. 3. And for 24, you need to multiply 2. 3 times 3 is 9, minus 1 times 2 is 2, equals 7 over 48. How about when you add these three fractions? Do the same thing. 10, 3, 45. And what are the numbers that can divide all three numbers? There's none. So what we're going to do is leave 10 here and just divide these numbers by 3. So 1 here and then 15 here. And then we're going to move on by just leaving 1 here, and 5 will divide both 10 and 15. So 2 and 3. Just be careful, this is not a way to find the greatest common factor. There is no other number can divide all three, so the greatest common factor of all three numbers is not 3, it's going to be 1. This is just a way to simplify to find the least common multiple. So multiply everybody here down in L shape. Okay, let's see. 5 times 2 is 10, and 3 times 3 is 9, so this is equal to 90. Okay, so the common denominator is 90. Now, let's find what we have to multiply here to get 90. You have to multiply 9, and how about here? 30. 45 times 2 is 90. So this is 9 plus 30 plus 8 is 9 plus 8 is 17. 17 plus 30 is 47 over 90. Take a look at these fractions. Should we go ahead and find the least common multiple of 36 and 12? Before we do that, 6 over 36 is not the simplest form. This is reducible. That 6 over 36 is equivalent to 1 over 6 plus, and this is also equivalent to 1 over 3. So, and 6 is a multiple of 3, so we'll use 6 as the common denominator. And in order to get 6, you need to multiply 2 here and 2 also here. Now 1 plus 2 is 3 over 6, which is also equivalent to 1/2. So before you jump ahead and try to do the calculation, examine the numbers if you can find the easier way. Solve this problem on your own. I will set 40 seconds. Begin.